It's been rumored for months, it's finally been confirmed. Battlefield is revealing info on its upcoming Battle Royale mode, and today we got our very first high-level details on what's coming. From what I've read so far, this doesn't appear to be just another mode slapped onto Battlefield 6. It looks like DICE is building something that could redefine large-scale Battle Royale gameplay. Some elements in here we're not seeing in other Battle Royales. So in this video, we're going to break down everything that's been revealed so far, including gameplay details, mission elements, vehicle inclusion, destruction, and even more. Does this mode have what it takes to compete and potentially rise above other BRs on the market? If you're intrigued as much as I am about Battlefield's take on Battle Royale, make sure you watch through this video to the end. Drop a like if this has your attention, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming Battlefield 6 coverage. So diving right into things, the devs are making it very clear this will be a proper Battlefield take on a Battle Royale mode. So we're going to have destruction in there, squad play, explosions, and vehicles, all thrown into the mix at once. Now for me, I think vehicles and destruction are probably the biggest elements that we're looking at over other Battle Royales, and with that does come a few concerns from my end about how players are going to be able to deal with things like tanks, for example. Obviously, there's a power balance there that needs to be struck. But let's take a look at this bit by bit, and by the end, I think it becomes clearer about the direction the devs are trying to take with this. We'll start off with the map. Based on the image in the blog post, this very much looks like some of the leaked elements that we've seen over the past few months. It looks like a map to me that's set on the west coast of the United States. We've got palm trees in the bottom right-hand corner. We've got some low-rise buildings interspersed with in-construction buildings, all surrounded by that massive wall of fire. The ring from Firestorm is definitely returning. Now, all the leaks suggest some sort of West Coast Californian setting, and the blog post mentions that this map has been entirely built from the ground up for the Battle Royale mode. There will be a bunch of different POIs and locations with their own distinct layouts and themes. They're going to provide different gameplay types, and we can assume some of those will be more infantry focused versus ones that provide more expansive vehicle gameplay opportunities. Speaking of the vehicles, this will be a core element of Battlefield's BR experience this time around. There's going to be plenty of transport vehicles spaced around the map that squads can use. You can get in them and move to different locations. You can rotate right across the circle to get a better position as the ring collapses. And generally, it's going to provide faster travel speeds as opposed to just going everywhere on foot. There will be more powerful armored vehicles available for unlock during matches, built to, quote, turn the tide of battle, end quote. So we can assume that means tanks then. The intent with having vehicles of all different types, according to the devs, is to incentivize squads to move around rather than just maintaining one fixed position until the Ring of Fire forces them to move. And you'll end up with lots more combined arms gameplay moments as a result of that, instead of just infantry-only gunfights wherever you go. Destruction is going to be everywhere across this map, according to developers, just like you'd expect from any other Battlefield map, really. Meaning, if you want to take down a building that's housing an enemy squad, you're probably going to be able to do it if you've got the right tools on your soldier. So creating new pathways or even toppling entire buildings is going to change the way you approach different gunfights compared to other Battle Royales that exist. And of course, we know that once you throw an armored vehicle into the mix, they tend to fare pretty well when you drive them right through buildings, destructible objects, so that's really going to change how gunfights play out if you've got a vehicle going on there. Destruction could be an absolutely defining element of this Battle Royale, I think so anyway, because instead of only being able to use like preset assets on the map to shape gunfights, i.e. cover that never disappears that you always know is going to be there, here in the Battlefield BR, you're going to be able to switch things up. Or maybe you roll into a location where you think there's going to be cover and someone has already destroyed it. So it's really going to change up how you play different areas, and it's going to flip gunfights on their head at a moment's notice. There are going to be second chances in this Battlefield BR, so if you die, that's not the end of the game for you. You won't be forced to sit in a spectator cam for 20 minutes whilst your friends keep having fun. According to the devs, there will be support class revives and mobile redeploy options, so multiple ways to make sure your squad keeps its 4 players alive until later on in matches. Missions will be present in the Battle Royale. They're going to offer up a bunch of different rewards of varying rarity. Tasks like finding and unlocking high-value caches to planting explosives to eliminate targets are mentioned in the blog post. That does sound somewhat similar to Call of Duty Warzone in all honesty, but that game does do a pretty good job of implementing missions, so I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. When you're completing the mission, you'll learn what reward you're going to get, and the ones mentioned in the blog post are things like a weapons cache, a vehicle key, so we can assume those are for the tanks, and a mobile redeploy unit, among other things. So that's going to leave it up to the squad to decide if they want to take the risk completing the mission to get that specific reward. Now, once you complete the mission, rewards are airdropped onto the map for you, which is a pretty cool gameplay element, I'm not going to lie. But that does mean that everyone else around you is going to see that airdrop at the same time. So it's pretty cool that you get that moment for completing something, but it's probably going to give away your position as well. And I think that makes missions a lot more readable than in other battle royales. And let's talk about the firestorm again, because according to the blog post, a core goal for this battle royale experience was set to have the most deadly ring that's been seen so far in a battle royale. That means here, instant death the moment that it touches you. So there's no grace period, there's no running in and out of the firestorm, compared to Battlefield 5 Firestorm that we got several years ago, where you could run into the firestorm, but you'd start taking damage straight away. Not this time. You just die the moment it touches you. You will get warnings that pop up on your screen as you approach the edge of the firestorm to let you know if you get too close, it will kill you. But the idea from the devs is to keep you away from the very edges of the combat zone and push you into what will surely be extremely intense firefights as the game space moves and shrinks. This marks a pretty big shift away from other battle royales that have used their zone almost like an extended play space to varying degrees. Warzone allows for gas plays with a mask equipped, and if you've got stims, you can reset your health regen. And in PUBG, where most people don't even realize they're in the zone sometimes and they just continue to fight because the health degen is just so slow in those early circles. Battlefield wants to do away with all of that and just keep the gameplay within the zone exclusively. Now, something that I think deserves a bit more time and attention from the blog post is the emphasis on squad play in this battle royale. The devs really pushed it hard, and I've got some information that I can share with you to help you understand where they're coming from. It kind of sort of extends from Battlefield 6's own push of team play and squad play. So first of all, the game size in Battle Royale is currently being tested at 100 players. That's 25 squads of 4 dropping in at the beginning. And the blog post didn't mention about any other play types. So right now, we don't know if solo play, duos or trios will be supported. Only quads has been mentioned so far. Each squad will have the chance to pick their individual classes before a match begins. So you'll have a little bit of time to strategize with your teammates. You're able to pick any combination of classes that you want, but obviously different classes have their own strengths and weaknesses. But I do think you're going to want to bring support into the fight, because just taking info from this blog post, they possess the ability to revive squad mates, and they have access to the supply crate, which gives you ammunition. So you're definitely going to want to use them. But once a match starts, your class is locked in, and it can't be changed for the rest of the match. Now, once you're in-game, you'll have 2 default gadgets from the class that you chose, and you'll have the same training system in place from Battlefield 6's multiplayer. So that allows you to unlock different traits for your chosen class. So as an example, the Assault class will unlock faster equipping of armor plates versus other classes, and that pushes them further into the role of that frontline fighter. Now, in the Battlefield Labs testing of the BR, the devs have noted that they're going to be paying very close attention to the class balance and the power that they possess across the 4 different classes to make sure that certain elements aren't standing out as much as like must-have choices, essentially meta options. They want to balance things effectively. They're already aware of just how powerful the support class's supply crate could be for maintaining ammunition across the squad, as an example. So it's good to know the devs are already thinking about this, but if they're already thinking about how powerful it could be, does that just mean that it's way too powerful already? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And I know I mentioned vehicles and destruction being those core elements of what's going to set this Battlefield BR apart compared to others, but I think classes could be another differentiator as well, because there aren't that many other Battle Royales out there that push like big roles upon to players. I mean, you could argue that Apex does this, but that's in the form of a hero shooter with unique different abilities across each character. With limited choices of classes in Battlefield, you've got just 4 here in the Battle Royale. You're going to be able to create combinations that really rely strongly on other players within the squad to cancel out your weaknesses, which is something that I think Battlefield is uniquely positioned to champion in the FPS space anyway. You're not a super soldier. You're not a one-man army. You are part of a larger group, and you might have some really powerful, really useful elements as your own soldier, but you've also got some chinks in your armor that need to be filled by elements from your squad mates. And then let's do an overview of looting. You're going to need to do a fair amount of this throughout matches in order to make sure that you've got items that you need for gunfights, like armor plates, ammo, explosives, and even more. There are 5 tiers of weapon loot in Battlefield's BR, along with additional elements like attachments for your weapons, throwables, excluding frag grenades, gadgets, excluding RPGs, strike packages, excluding the airstrike, armor upgrade kits, and custom drops of your favorite weapons. You can find all of these things throughout the map through loot crates, class-specific crates, unlocking armored trucks, mission rewards, and of course, looting enemies who've been killed. Now, what's most interesting to me is the exclusion of frag grenades, RPGs, and the airstrike from their respective categories there. Does that mean that the devs are conceding that by adding in elements like destruction and vehicles, that certain items need to be available more readily for any player to use, as opposed to just having them locked to specific classes? That's what it sure sounds like to me. We'll have to wait and see. No details on a release date for the Battle Royale at the moment, but obviously testing will be happening soon in labs, so watch out for the inevitable leaks that will be all over Twitter and Reddit the moment that starts. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Battlefield does, to me, seem to be trying to do things differently to other Battle Royales that are already in the space, but let me know your thoughts. Alright, I'll catch you soon.